while my friends Matt from the Sick on Cinema podcast and Urshel are sending their 100th or 1,000th message on Discord about Nacho Libre, I'm gonna talk to you about real good cinema. Blue Monkey. Or Insect, as it's also known. I prefer the cover, this cover, over the Blue Monkey cover, which is, it's just, that's the Blue Monkey cover. But man, that name, Insect, couldn't be more generic if you... this is like an AI-generated title. And it kind of smells like beer because I accidentally spilled beer on this, which is never a good thing. Now my Blu-ray is gonna smell like beer. But if I had to choose one movie in my collection to smell like beer, it'd probably be Blue Monkey, or at least another Canucksploitation film, because yes, this is a Canucksploitation film directed by legendary Canadian filmmaker William Fruet, or Furet. I'm just gonna say the French pronunciation because it sounds more French than an English name, William Fruet, which he might be Anglophone. The name of the director just sounds really, really fucking French, so I'll just say the French pronunciation. So this is your fairly typical big monster, giant monster attack B-movie with a twist because instead of being a giant monster, it's an insect. It's a giant kind of like a mix between an ant and a spider, which is the character, the creature design is actually pretty freaking good, especially for something that was probably made for quite the low budget. The creature design is wonderful. So I've had seen this movie before, but on like a super low quality VHS rip bootleg. So this I bought during the Kino sale, and the transfer looks gorgeous. It looks so good you can actually see some of the wire work that was used to make the creature move, but I don't care. I'll take seeing a bit of wire over shitty CGI or just CGI in general any day, especially in a movie like this, where let's just say that the story, the characters, they kind of take a back seat to giant monster attacking. Even though we don't see a lot of the monster, and there's a lot of build-up to the first time we see the monster, it's all about the monster. At the end of the day, it's all about the monster. Because as I said, pretty much everything else about this film is fairly forgettable. The story is super simple. So you have this landscaper who's working at a greenhouse at an old lady's house, and he sees a plant that looks kind of dead, and he's like, "Oh, Gertrude," or I don't know. It's an old woman, so I assume her name's like Gertrude. Oh, Gertrude, what is this? And then he touches it, gets a cut, and then that cut turns out to be a deadly new virus, which is a virus, but it's also a larva that comes out of his mouth, which is pretty gruesome, pretty gross of an effect. And then the people at the hospital try to keep that larva under control, but they're kind of doing it like when you have a spider in your house that you don't want to kill, so you just put like a reverse like bowl over the spider. I don't know. Do you guys kill your spiders at home? In my house, if I see a spider, I'll either bring it outside or just let it chill there. Because I don't mind spiders, and I know people are like, oh, spiders are like sign of being dirty, but like if the spider bothers me, I'll either bring it outside, or really rare occasion I'll kill it, even though most of the time now my cat is the one that kills the spiders. I'll either bring it outside, my cat will kill it, or if they don't bother me, I just leave them there. I mean, we are the ones who build houses around their house. Anyways, just food for thoughts. Let me know in the comment if you you kill the spiders in your house or apartment. I don't. I don't. I'm not in Australia. We only have like spiders. Anyways, this is just a tangent. Yeah. So yeah, they keep the larva under like a little bowl, and there's some kid in the hospital. I guess it's like a new hospital. It's kind of like this private clinic, and there are kids over there. One of them, and they're kind of like little meddling troublemaker kids. One of them has leukemia. That because the movie needed some emotional shit, I guess. It's just so out of nowhere because the cop, one of our main character is a cop that's there because his partner was shot, and he's hanging over there, and then the kids bother him, and they're like, why are you here? And he's like, well, my partner's been shot. And then the kid is like, well, I have leukemia. And then, well, the cop is like, why are you here? I have leukemia. And then you have like this sad little music. Then you have the backstory of the leukemia kid. And I know I shouldn't have laughed, but it was so like emotionally manipulative that I couldn't do anything but laugh. Yeah, and then larva, whatever, the meddling kids, they free the larva, while the person, the lady that was supposed to take care of the security of that thing, is out smoking a joint with like her co-worker or boyfriend. I don't know. They have a sex scene. There's no nudity in this. That's a lot of the Canuxploitation, other than My Bloody Valentine, are fairly tame. Oh, well, and Ilsa. Okay, other than discounting the sexploitation films that were produced in Canada, the rest of like the horror exploitation films were kind of tame. Because I can think of this as being super tame. Like, this has no blood, this has no gore. And then movies like Curtains, I guess, it's a great movie, but I mean, like, it had its moment, but it isn't a gory or a sleazy flick. And then, of course, Prom Night, which Prom Night is also not sleazy and not graphic. And then you have the Canadian Last House on the left, which doesn't show anything. So Canuxploitation films were fairly tame, like super tame, compared to their American, or especially compared to their European counterparts. I guess The Nest is probably what's closest to this film, and The Nest gets pretty gruesome, but man, there's little in blood and guts and sex and sleaze. So while they're gone smoking joint, the kids, they free the insect, and then it becomes this thing. And it's at that point that the movie peaks in like fun. In between that, you have a character of like a doctor that's an expert on bugs, and of course his favorite car is the Volkswagen Beetle, because why not? Comedy. Yeah, this is just this isn't a great film. This is far from being my favorite insect or giant monster film, because it covers both of those subgenre. But it's like a good time. It's like a short, well, an hour 36 something. It's this short, decently paced little monster flick B-movie. If you like B-movies, give this one a watch. It's pretty much a classic in Canuxploitation film, and it has a release now by Code Red, which you can buy them through Kino, because, well, as you guys know, Code Red partnered with Kino, which made it easier to get titles from Code Red. And then, of course, rest in peace, Bill from Code Red. Banana Man recently passed away, so I guess that kind of gives complications. But hey, if the money goes to Bill's brother or his estate, I'm fine with that. He did a lot for physical media, even though he was a cunt. Let's not forget, he was a piece of shit, that guy. But he did a lot. Anyways, Insect, aka Blue Monkey, I give this one a solid 6.78. It's not great, it's pretty good. And William Fruet did a lot of Canuxploitation films. He also did The Canadian Last House on the Left, which I'll eventually talk on my main channel. I have a video plan that includes that movie. I won't do a video on that movie itself because, as I said, it's so fucking tame. But yeah, Blue Monkey. Good. I like it. Recommend. If you like B-movie, you'll like this.